Man, April 18th, 2026. Yeah, man, what a nice day out. Another nice day. I don't know. I always seem to be doing lives on nice day. It was raining early on, and clouds the cloud seeding are breaking up. It was like in the 50s, upper 50s in North Texas. Yeah, it was. But now it's not too bad. Weather improved and compared to early on. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit until folks join in. Probably give it like another a minute or two. It's really nice here. Yeah. Yeah. Gonna wait, give it another minute before I start. This is very nice. It's really cool here. Okay. Hey, how you doing, Isaac? Okay, I'm about to start. I'm gonna try to keep this live a little bit shorter. I'm gonna try my best. Man, recently I had a setback. Recently, I currently I'm out of work, so I'm going through a setback. It's just a minor setback. Kind of threw my focus off a little bit. I've been discussing this. I think I was sharing. I think my last live or the live before that, I was talking about me putting together a packet for the ending mass surveillance and going through this challenge. Going through, again, a setback. Kind of threw my focus off. It's hard to put things together while you're having some other challenges. But it's all good. I'm gonna be working again really soon. So, it didn't throw me off completely, but I'm definitely I'm going through a setback just like everybody else. It's not the first time I've gone through challenges. Trust me, I've been through a lot of stuff. I'm very private, so I don't really talk about details of my personal life. But I try to generalize it just to let people know, for those that care or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, I'm currently out of work. I've been looking, so I have three possible companies that I'm going, that's on the that I'm, for example, which company is going to come first. It's all about, them doing a little background check and all that, blah blah blah. But whoever comes first, I'm probably going to pick. So But I definitely will get back into the swing of things as far as the packet. I definitely, I'm very serious about ending mass surveillance. That's one of the bigger projects that I want to get started quickly as possible. Sorry, it's taking too long. Uh, I guess part of me, I am a perfectionist. I want things. If I'm going to put a presentation out, I want things to be solid. You know, of course, there will be naysayers. You know, always going to have people that have a sheep mindset. There's always going to be some people thinking that you can't do nothing about it. Just bear with it. And I'm like, my mentality is, I don't think that way. There is, you know, there's a saying: where there's a will, there's a way. So when I say things, for example, that we could end mass surveillance, I mean, yes, we can end mass surveillance. No, we don't have to wait till apocalypse to come down to save us, and no, nothing from the sky is going to come and save us against the tyrannical system. Nope. No, I learned a lot of stuff over the past months, or even further, that there's a lot of damage we could do against this tyrannical system. But some things I want to talk about. This is kind of a loose conversation, as if you're right here by me, and I'm just having a little bit of a chit chat. But there's some things I want to share. Maybe it will inspire some people. Maybe, I don't know. But I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was thinking some stuff early today about, you know, about people, about I was telling my friend of mine that he said, you know, you don't really need a support of people to accomplish your goals. Some ducks flying right by me. Yeah, you don't need. You know, it's great to have support of people. You know, it's great, but you know, the stuff that I talk about in social media and the amount of crickets that I've gotten, it really taught me a lot. It really taught me a lot that I'm gonna have to basically do a lot of stuff on my by myself. And I'm okay with that. So if I'm going to, for example, if I'm going to break this tyrannical system piece by piece, and if let's just say it's just me by myself, I will do that. Um, and that's what I'm. Yesterday, that's what I was thinking about it yesterday, and you know, just I just don't have the expectation of a lot of people to to make the initiative to come forward and reach out or want to get involved. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, some people come in my live and listen and all that. I don't really rely on people coming in my live and listen. If they do, great. If they don't, I'm still going to do my live. So I kind of look at my live as kind of like a little bit of a personal journal. I do listen to my live. I go after I finish recording. I do listen to my live. So if I want to feel inspired, depends what I'm talking about, I go back and listen to my own live. But I do like to inspire other people, like-minded people, you know, for those that want to make a difference and you feel like no one gives a shit what you have to say and you don't got this so-called perfect support system around you. Yeah, yeah, I realize that. And I do talk about heavy stuff. I will admit, I do talk about, you know, things against the police state, the insurgent state government, a lot of stuff I talk about. Weather modification or whatever, I talk about things, but the way I talk about it, I talk about it on a solution oriented. I think that what drives a lot of sheeples away, I'm glad. I'm really am. Uh, I feel good about it. It separate. You know, you want to separate yourself from the people that want to take action, the one that's action oriented. You understand? You want to separate yourself from those people from the one that just talk and don't do shit about it. Yeah. But yeah, I have so between being out of work, I'm juggling five. I have five different litigation going on between state and federal court, So I got to manage those cases, and it's not easy though. It's not easy because my mind has to be focused, dealing between governments, dealing with private entities. You know, you understand? It's really challenging to keep your mind focused, and I'm doing my best. And there's times that I feel, yeah, like just days ago, I felt so angry and overwhelmed. Yeah, I had moments of that way recently, but I had to pick myself up. I had to, you know, and I had a really interesting dream last night. I had an interesting dream last night. um, I wasn't this dream I had. I was in a stage. I didn't really plan on shit what I'm about to share, but anyway, it just came up. I was in a stage, and I was just telling people on the stage about one of the key things to challenge this system is telling the people, the office holders, about challenging their authority. Where did their authority derive from? And in the dream, there was a couple of kids around their late 20s. They overheard. I guess I guess when I was on a stage talking, I guess it was a speech, and they were inspired by it. These three kids in a dream. They was inspired, and the dream continued that they kind of mimicked the things that I was saying, and it impacted them, and it made a difference. They started spreading, sharing people about how the system don't have actual true authority and how to go about it. Is that they was inspired by the things that I'm doing, and I felt like the message in the dream was it's pretty awesome. I think I needed that because I've been, like I said, I'm going through a setback. I've been feeling kind of down, but I'm bouncing back. But the dream it was great timing. Um, and I definitely know my purpose. I am definitely meant to make an impact. I have to realize that it may not look like it now. And that's if anybody that's listening and you kind of know your purpose and you feel like there's nothing going on in your life, it don't seem like it. Sometimes things is not always obvious. You're gonna have to keep trucking. You're gonna have to just keep. If you have a vision and you believe in yourself, you can't. And you can't really. That's the thing. It's great to have support, but you can't rely on people to be around you cheering for you. You can't. It is kind of like I said, it's good to have that. But if you're going to only rely on that alone, your foundation is not strong. Because what if those same people that seem to be cheering for you suddenly turn their back, don't give a fuck what you got to say, and what you're going to do about it? What are you going to what about the dream that you have? Are you going to just stop because now you're not popular now? I'm like, no, you have something in your heart and you really truly want to do it, it takes dedication. You got to be dedicated. And that's what I'm doing. I'm dedicated. Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to get. Love to get things done quicker. I mean, there's a lot of projects I laid out for this year. I mean, I said in my live, I think I was talking about it early this year. It's a lot of things I want to do to get done. Um, but you can only do what you can. You do. Can't if you can't do them all. That's sometimes that's my mindset. I want to just do everything. Keep things moving and accomplish one task and then move on to the next task and everything. Sometimes I have a tendency of zeroing in on one project, and then sometimes I try to zero in on a couple of projects at the same time. I'm like, I was like looking into that last night. I'm like trying to figure out, like, damn, it's like because I know it's important when it comes to the insurgent government. I know it's important that somebody got to fight back. Somebody. I'm not waiting for nobody to step up and do anything. I am doing something about it. Me, as a member of society, I'm going to do something about it. If it takes me, for example, I don't know if other people are doing the same thing that I've been doing. I know I've been generalizing my life. I don't share things so much in detail, but I give people enough an idea to know what I'm doing. But I don't know how many people out there doing. But let's just say if it's just me doing it by myself, right? And and if I have to like lead the way to inspire other people to get up and do something about it for themselves, then so be it. So be it. I don't care. But somebody got to do something. And I'm not the kind of person to sit around and wait for anybody. I have a mind. Thank God I got two arms, okay? Two legs, you know. The creator gave me the intelligence, the wisdom, and all that, and knowledge that's coming my way, and I'm going to utilize it. I'm going to use whatever tool I can get, and my 10 years experience understanding what type of system we have, and studying my enemy. I do study my enemy, and I do know that these agencies, for example, they have lots of pressure points that I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack these agencies lawfully and legally. I will. So yeah, I do study my enemy, and I think about an end game. I think about it. I definitely do want to be that person to help collapse the system. I do. I definitely do. The system don't give a damn about us. People are suffering, and a lot of people do all kinds of things to not face what they're going through. People want to escape. They want to, whether you're drinking yourself away, whether you're using drugs, whatever you do in your personal life, people don't want to face the situation that we're going through on a day-to-day basis. You know, everybody want to escape. Everybody, that's the thing. That's what happens when you live under tyranny. You know, people are being oppressed. People don't have the answers. People want answers, and if they do get the answers, they're what? How many people want to actually follow through with it? You know. Anyway, if anybody that's just joining in, I don't look at my live. I don't look at my comments so much. I just share. I'm just. I guess you could say I'm just rambling about basically about life, and I mean I'm just rambling about life and circumstances I'm going through and whatever, things, the challenges that you go through, and how basically I'm just picking myself up, not relying on people supporting the things that I do. Yeah, I just feel pretty good. I have to, the thing is, I have to feel confident what I do. I have to. It's very important for me. It's definitely, like I said, being unpopular really teaches you. It really teaches you to be strong. We live in a society that we definitely rely on popularity because people, they need outside to validate them. You know, and the people that don't want to hear the stuff that I'm saying, then those are not the kind of people that I'm basically focused on. They're not my audience. The actual audience will actually sit there and listen to things that I'm saying, and then they would internalize it and ask themselves questions. I'm like, you ask yourself question: Am I relying on people to validate me? Am I just wired politically, the system that just controls you? You have to ask yourself this question: Is the system controlling you of every nerve that goes through you? Because a lot of people out there, they just operate under a knee-jerk reaction. If you're not talking about certain topics, people, they tune out because those people are brainwashed. But the kind of audience, the ones that will stick around, are the ones that get it, the ones that willing to learn more and be inspired. I put a lot of stuff on my channel. I know I've been doing a lot of live lately, but I posted some stuff on my channel that gives people, tell people exactly what we're dealing with. I do talk about solutions. If anyone asks about a website, no, I definitely will create a website soon. I don't have a website. I definitely want to. I was trying to last year, but I just was overloaded. So I definitely want to create a website. That's definitely on my list. But I will do what I can right now. I definitely will. Yep, I just want to do the short live. I'm not. I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna cut this short in a few minutes. But man, really nice evening, man. So I hope your day is going good. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. And I got some stuff that I got to take care of today. I'm gonna try to finish the projects. Uh, I got like 5 different litigation going on. I got to update my legal documents. One of the cases is involve a traffic ticket. I'm fighting that. The state doesn't have their evidence is very weak. I know I'm going to win that. Other cases, I don't want to say right now. I don't know. I'm just kind of using my discretion about some things that I'm doing in the court system. I don't know. At some point, maybe I will share some stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Maybe I would just upload a document, redact some information. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way. I'm trying to guard my privacy. But I want to teach people in regards to challenging the authority in the system. Um, Definitely will. But the mass surveillance, it's just that that's like the top of my list right now, and it's getting worse and worse. I listened to a lot of videos. I think I'm not sure if I shared this last live. I'm not sure, but there was a guy that was interviewed, was a school bus driver, and he was saying about how the company that he's working for, they're going to be putting cameras on the school bus, and it's all about under the guise of safety. But the the AI camera is not just video recording the driver, but it's video recording the children's faces. So you have to understand that the identity of these children, okay, are being sold by third parties. You understand? Not just the driver. So all these things I'm looking, I'm like, wow, this is getting worse and worse. And I don't think a lot of parents know about that, how these school buses are becoming a mini surveillance. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's part of the packet on that. I'm just trying to, like I said, I just want to put a presentation out there. I just want it to be solid. I want people to get something out of it. And yeah, I'm frustrated. I should have got this stuff done like a month ago. And as you putting stuff together, you learn more stuff. I'm like, oh snap! I want to add more layers to my presentation. It's like there's so much stuff to add. Oh boy, man, it's amazing. But let's see what times. I'm trying to keep up with my time this because I haven't been doing a good job far because I keep saying I'm gonna do a short live. Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Alberto from Mexico? How you doing? Welcome. Thanks for joining in. Yeah. If anybody's new to my channel, hit like and subscribe. I know YouTube go by algorithm. Yes, I want my channel to go around. I want people have the right to know the truth. People have the right to understand what type of government we have. I don't one thing you will learn about my channel that it is not a left right wing channel or not even libertarian. I'm a nonpartisan. So I do not endorse any office holder, even the one that used to be in office. I don't care. Okay. I talk about my channel overall is about constitutional laws, natural rights. I do not discuss, I am not a sovereign citizen. I want to be clear with that. I know there's some people confused the things that I talk about. Sovereign citizen, that just goes to show that people are not fully informed the difference between the things I talk about and the sovereign citizen people. I think I need to do a video about that. There's a lot of damn videos I want to do, man. It's just about having the time to put it together. But I would say this. Let me just say this real quick about the sovereign citizen. I know I'm talking about a bunch of stuff in this live, but some of the things that the sovereign citizen folks talk about is similar to what I talk about. But the problem is that they're mixing actual truthful information with garbage. Okay? Garbage. I was one of those people over 10 years ago about the whole birth certificate and the whole name caps and all that other crap. Yes, I was one of those people. But then I realized shortly after that this whole thing is bullshit, and I was just about to just disappear out of social media until I discover a material that was shared about the 14th Amendment. It piqued my interest. And then I started learning more and more. I'm like, and then I started learning about what type of system we have and the difference between the stuff that I was learning versus the straw man bullshit. I'm like, wow, it's like night and day. And when I started learning and I did the research and it was verified about what type of system we have, I've done my homework. I'm like, okay, now this is what I was, this is what I was like, I'm going to be dedicated with this. And I've been dedicated 10 years strong. I have. So, yeah. So, no, a lot of stuff that I talk about is, no, I'm not a sovereign citizen or a sovereign, whatever. Um, I tell people in the American law system, sovereignty is the collective. There is no individual sovereign according to American law system. Okay? The sovereign is the collective of people in the state. Okay, the sovereign body politic. There is no such thing as sovereign citizen. You will not find that in any of the founding documents. You will not find that in the Constitution, the state constitution. So I make that distinguish between that to people that in case anybody comes and say some stupid shit about not a sovereign citizen. Nope. So I tell people about that. I tell people the things like, and then most of the time I get crickets. They just shut up and they go away. It's typical. Anyway, so but yeah, check out. I do post a lot of stuff on my channel. I mean, there's stuff. Again, you check them out. Uh, I do talk about the system is totalitarianism by their own admission. All right, there's a statute, a federal statute that identifies the system as totalitarianism. Did a video about that. Okay, that was a few years ago, but it's in my channel. So yeah, I'm definitely nonpartisan. So if you are a liberal or a conservative and a libertarian, you're not going to like the stuff that I share because I don't lean into political camps. Um, my thinking is of my own. Okay, my thinking is my own. I don't rely on a narrative to tell me the government narrative to tell me what to think. So, far as I know, is that everybody in the system starting from local to the Oval Office, is the enemy. I don't care who's in office. I don't care, again, about political parties. This system is the enemy, and this system continuously oppress people every single day when you get up or while you're sleeping. So, yeah, I take these things very seriously. And, but yeah, I realize being a nonpartisan, it is a lonely road. But that's good. That's good. That's not going to deter me what I need to do. Like I was saying early in this live about not needing people. I mean, if you don't have that support, I'm willing to do and I'm committed to do things on my own. I'm definitely on. Um, one person, I do believe that one person can single handedly do a lot of damage. Definitely, definitely. But for some people that's a sheep minded, they will say all kinds of things to be afraid and they don't have that vision. So but yeah, one person definitely can make a big difference. It's all about your vision. It's all about you being dedicated. You know, uh, share what you know. That's what I do. I just share things. I share things loosely. I tell people the things I know. Try to be as simple as possible. I don't want to get too heady in my life, but I talk about these things, and I am excited that there is a solution to tackle these issues. I was just telling a friend of mine. I want to say this before I wrap up, but I was telling a friend of mine it was like last night that the whole thing with the U.S. military, that obviously they're the world's police, that all those things could be challenged. Far as the military bases, far as the U.S. military keeps sticking their noses into people's lives outside, it's not the men and women. They just order. They're just following orders. But it's the people in office. They're not being challenged. Protesting against a war hasn't done any success. If you look back in history, I think Vietnam, it's that's just an example. People protest against Vietnam War. It didn't really do nothing. Um, Damage was still done, even though the Vietnamese was recorded that they kind of beat the U.S. military. But depends on who you talk to. Some people might disagree with that. But the point is that there are people challenge the government against any war campaign, but it never succeeded. The federal continuously carry on their agenda. But I was telling a friend of mine that there's different avenues that you could challenge the federal, far as using constitutional limits, far as attacking the funding. Okay, you as a taxpayer, you attacking the funding. Everything needs funding. Okay, nothing is absolute. I know the system operates like that. They think they can just do anything they want, and people can't do shit about it. And we've been brainwashed to accept that. But no, no. I was just giving an example that yeah, we could definitely stop the military campaign around the world. But yeah, that's one of the things that I want to do. I plan to do. That's one of my projects. I wanted to get all the U.S. military, all the people in the military back home. Okay, they have no business occupying another country overseas. Our military is not designed that way, but the system does utilizes the emergency power. They do utilize different statutes, um, things that's outside the Constitution, and statutes and emergency powers, for example, or the war powers. And people debate that what they want, but it does not give additional power to the Constitution. It's all about knowing the basics. If you understand about the limitation of what the Constitution set for the federal and state, and you understand the clauses of those Constitution, you definitely can do a lot of damage of how you challenge the system. I do tell people that uh, the government is de facto. Um, I know people don't know what de facto is, but just to make it short, de facto is operate through statutes and statute, code, and ordinance. There's someone that don't have legal right in office. Their office, their title to office is defective. They're not de jure. Maybe some of you probably heard about this, but everybody in office from state to federal are de facto. They are operating under color of law, or say positive law, okay? But they are operating outside the constitutional bound. There's limits. So, but that's a lot of my project is definitely going to be attacking um, agencies and office holders as far as their position and what they've been doing. And I definitely want to close down federal agencies, state agencies that's not been created lawfully. There's a lot of stuff that I plan to do. I didn't say everything, but damn, there's a list of stuff that I plan to do. But like I said, I'm willing to do it by myself, and I am committed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, all right, I'm gonna stop here. I appreciate you all. Let me just look at my comments here. So anyway, I appreciate you all coming by. Um, you know, I will definitely come around again to do another live. Hopefully, I could do a power. Hopefully, gosh, hopefully I could just complete my PowerPoint presentation. Anyway, yeah. So if you like what I shared, great. Check out my videos that I posted. Okay, you get something out of it, and tell your friends about it because people have a right to know what we're dealing with. Okay, and that there is a solution to fight the system. Okay, if it's one agency at a time, then one agency at a time. So, all right, folks. Thank you all, and have a good one. Bye.